Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another week for my weekly watch list. It is Sunday, April 27th, and I'm looking forward to a few stocks, making some big moves this week. So, in today's video, what we're going to do is break down, a few different stocks, what I'm watching, what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to see in the overall market. Obviously, as you can see on screen, it's a huge week for earnings. It's a huge week for earnings, probably the biggest one of this earnings season because, as you can see, four of the Mag 7 are reporting Wednesday, Thursday. So Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Apple are reporting Wednesday and Thursday. But amongst that, we've also got PayPal, SoFi, we've got Starbucks, we've got Robinhood, Qualcomm, we've got McDonald's, Exxon, a couple of the big stocks I already talked about: Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft as well. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot of different players this week. I'm pretty sure Spotify is reporting too. I can't see them right now, but I'm pretty sure Spotify. Oh, here we go. Tuesday. Spotify is reporting too. But yeah, like I said, we're going to definitely have a lot of opportunities on our hands. So I'm just going to get into TradingView to start off with. And yeah, we're going to take it from there. But at any point, for those of you who are in here, feel free to just stop me. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to, let me know if you have any concerns or stocks you want me to break down. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. So let's get it. Okay. So now I'm sharing my screen and we are looking at Tesla stock. But one thing I want to highlight with Tesla is, right, we had 284. Friday, everyone knows Friday was insane. If we pull up the 5-minute chart, this stock was going and going and going and going and going, right? We started the day down at 257, 258. At one point in the day, we hit highs of 286. So, funny thing is, Tesla actually reported a bad earnings. They reported a decrease in net income for Q1 of 71%. That was on Wednesday, right? Oh, sorry, that was on Tuesday, and then Wednesday it gapped up somehow. We saw a bit of consolidation along Thursday, and Friday it just went completely ballistic. But this is what I want to highlight with Tesla. On a daily chart, we have my previous level of resistance, strong level of resistance, around 284, 285. We just wicked off the moving average, 200 moving average on a daily chart. And again, it's a little bit overbought right now, a little bit overbought. Now, I'm not saying Tesla won't get back to 300, 400, but I do think in the short term, it's going to pull back a little bit before it goes higher. Now, of course, anything can happen. I don't have to be correct. I don't have to be right. Anything can happen with Tesla. But I just want you guys to be aware, not getting caught in the hype. Their earnings was not great. Their numbers were not great. And still, in the preceding days, Tesla took off. It is a reminder that there are some stocks. Tesla is one of those that can just do whatever it wants. There are some stocks like that. There are some stocks on the market. Apple seems to be one as well. But there are some stocks that just do whatever they want. Tesla had a great Friday, had a great, post-earnings move, and now it's at previous resistance. So if we blow from here, I expect us to go back to my zone, towards my zone, 326, right? If we fall, then again, I'm looking at that blue line around 265. But, of course, right now, the way it's going, I personally wouldn't be touching it until I see clear direction and probably a little bit of a pullback before we move higher. So next up, Meta. Meta is on my list because, as you're going to see with a lot of stocks on the market right now, they seem to have kind of like bottomed out a little bit, based out, and started uptrending again. So Meta is at 547 right now. It is currently above the moving averages on the daily time frame. The good thing is about Meta, right? They have earnings, like I said, this week on Wednesday after close. So Meta's, support base is around $500, really. You see that body hanging around 500, body here, hanging around 500. That's where the base is. It's clearly taken off from its base. It's moved a lot higher than where its base was at. And now it's starting to show signs of strength. So with Meta, to be honest, the run up to earnings is going to be interesting because if Meta can push before earnings, I do think we can see $600 before earnings. Maybe 575. 600 best case before earnings. There is so much upside to this stock though, so beware of this. Beware of this, right? Earnings happens. Earnings happens, and just like Tesla, no matter what the result is, this could still fly. That is very similar to what Tesla did, right? On the other side, we're at a key level of resistance. 550 is that key level. 550 is that key level. If we can break above 550, hold above 550, and continue pushing towards earnings, then what I will do is trade the post earnings. So, to be honest, overall, I'm kind of seeing what it does after earnings. I think before earnings, I think it will push up. I do think we can see 575, maybe, like I said, 600 best case before earnings. But I'm looking to play this post earnings. So I'm expecting Meta to be bullish. Obviously, when you look at the trend, the overall trend, in the last 2 months, it's clearly bearish. That's okay. What's important is, since we hit that lows of 483, we've recovered. We've recovered by about $70, right? So it's like, where do we go from here? We're at this, key level of resistance around 550. Where do we go from here? We're now above the moving averages. Will the moving averages cross over? Probably. Again, bullish sign. But because of earnings, I'm not really trying to play this one right now. Again, until the earnings has already happened. Next up is Micron, ticker symbol MU. So this stock based out really nicely, right? This is like a key level. This like little zone. It's like a key level, key zone. And I like this because it based really nicely and started up trending smoothly. Now, I kept hesitating on pulling the trigger when it was about $70, but now it's broken above moving averages, held above the moving averages. Moving averages, the 9 and 21 are crossing to the upside. That's a golden cross. It's a bullish sign. I'm looking forward to seeing this cross. I think this one can push this week. It's definitely one I'm watching. And once again, I'll be patient. I'll just watch to see how it moves. First couple, candles tomorrow. First couple 50-minute candles, hourly candles, etc. I'll see how it moves. If it pulls back and starts pushing with the rest of tech, of course, I'll get into calls. Now, what levels would I be looking at for Micron? You might want to mark these as well. First one is that where we gap down to. That level right here, $83, where we gap down to like a week after earnings. That's the first level I'll look to see us get towards, right? After that, then we're looking to fill that gap up back again, and that'll be around, $87. So another $8 push for Micron. I do think that, if you're trading these kind of stocks, you've got to watch the overall tech stocks. Obviously, Micron is a tech stock on the NASDAQ. So look at the other semiconductors, look at the other tech stocks, just see what they're doing, get yourself an idea of what could be happening. Since we're speaking about tech stocks right now, I'm going to bring up AMD. AMD, our great friend, right? I think it was 2 Sundays ago, I made a tweet and I said, AMD is down at $80. We'll see it somewhere around here. 80 or $75. This is your time to, get it for cheap. And I did get it for cheap. We're on our way to $100 right now. So 2 key levels for AMD are the $97 level and the $100 level. That $100 price point, right? I have $99.76 marked out. That $100 price point, $99.76, whatever you want to call it, is huge. The reason I say this is $100 level for a lot of stocks is a key selling price point. If you remember when we first hit $100 with Palantir, we sold off a little bit. $100 is always a key level. Walmart had the same thing. It hit $100, sold off. Palantir hit $100, sold off. AMD hit $100, it can sell off. It's a strong level. It's a key level for many, many stocks out there. Here you can see a bit of consolidation around the $100 level. You see Doji, you see the Gravestone Doji, you see a lot of consolidation around the $100 level. I do think we push and we break past this $97 level. That's the first target, $97.53. And then I think we move towards that $100 level. The only thing here is, I do believe that once we hit that $100 level, again, we could see a lot of selling pressure, which is never good. But again, I have the confidence that we at least get to that $100 level this week. If we can break it, that would be amazing, especially as I'm also like I said, a long-term shareholder of AMD. But again, if you want to also buy AMD shares, 96 is not a bad price point. My average is around 92. So 96 is not even a bad price point. If you look long term, AMD can get back to, 150, 160, maybe all the way to 200 and whatever by the next couple of years. It's got a long way to go. I also want to highlight the weekly chart for AMD right now. Right? Here's the weekly chart. Look at these candles here. Look at these candles right below the moving average, but we're pushing hard. Look at the price action. Each week, the price action is is big, strong body candles right there with AMD. So just watch the price action this week. Yeah. All right. My next stock is Google. Now, I know I'm doing a lot of the bigger stocks, bigger companies, but it's important. We got a bullish engulfing candle here, right? We are at the level of resistance. But another thing to highlight, we just had earnings, right? We just had earnings. If we want to get a better look at how earnings went, you can look at the hourly chart here. So we gapped up after earnings, and then we sold off heavily, and we started to slowly sell off incrementally. I'm actually bullish on Google. This is where you see why I'm bullish on Google. We're about to get the moving average cross to the upside, the golden cross. We're holding above the moving average, and we're just around holding that level of support. Now, I think as long as we hold this 161 level, right? I think as long as we hold this 161 level, I might just mark it for us. Right, as long as you hold that level there, 160, 74, whatever, where we wicked off of many times, I think we're good. I think this goes to 166, right around here. See the top of these candles, 166. I'll mark it again, right here. Make it green. I think it goes to 166, then to 170. Those are my price targets for Google. The 170 price target is just above the moving average. So 166 and 170 for Google. I love this, this is Google. I mean, what do you want to say about Google, right? Google, they got YouTube, they've got Gemini, they got the greatest one of the greatest ad businesses out there. They got, Google have too much going for them that I could see this dropping. I can't see it dropping anytime soon, Yeah, the 145 and all that was a great price point. But if it drops again, I don't think it's going to drop dramatically. Like I said, right now it's at a discount. Google is at a discount. So, yeah, again, Google, 166 is the price target, 170 is the price target. Apple, another one of those big stocks. So Apple reports Thursday after close. So here's how I think Apple will go. Similar to a lot of these stocks, they're based out, we're coming up to that 210 price point. I do believe this could be the week we see 216.97. I do believe that Apple has that, strength going into earnings. And if you don't want to, trade Apple before the earnings, that's fine. You can just wait till the post earnings and just trade it Friday. By then it could already be at 216. It could be higher. Who knows? But at the same time, it could be down back under 200. You never know. But I do think Apple's going to catch some momentum, catch some fire, catch some heat before earnings and keep pushing. The last couple of weeks have been good. You do have to watch out for tariff news with Apple, though. Same as Nvidia, watch out for tariff news. But to be honest, Apple is one that, again, if we're talking about options and you want to be safer, get your 230 calls, 235 calls, whatever, but do it for June, do it for July. That's always a safer bet with a stock like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, those kind of stocks. So yeah. What else have I got on my watch? Of course, the great SoFi. And let me just quickly stop and see if there's any questions or concerns right now. Let me see. Okay, some stocks to watch. Yeah, drop your stocks to watch as well. I'll dive into those as well. I'll happily dive into those. Let me know if you've got some stocks you want me to go over. Okay, I like some suggestions from here. Apple, they're saying it will go down a lot. Okay. Yeah, it might. It might. Like I said, the earnings might go bad, but I think the run up to earnings will be good. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. So we shall see. But I think what you're saying could be valid. Apple could go down after earnings. It's very possible. Like I said, we could end up back up under the $200 level. It's a possibility. All right, SoFi. So SoFi recovered. You know, a lot of them move in the past week purely off the market running. So SoFi was back under. I think actually no, the week before it was back under $10, but this week it got back to around $10. And if we go to the 4-hour chart to get a better look of what happened, you know, it's pretty clear. We consolidated for almost a week straight, pretty much a week straight. We consolidated, and we started to gain momentum. We started to catch fire. We started to break above the moving averages, and now it's sitting pretty on the 4-hour chart above the 200. We've already seen the crossover. Right now, yeah, SoFi can go to 1360. Right, it's up. What? How much is it up in the past week? From 1053 to 13. It's up like two. It's over. It's almost $3. Right, it's up like 20% in the past week. That's great. And the funny thing is, I still see SoFi moving higher. That 1360 price target is my first one for this week. That's what we kind of reversed last time. So just be good to watch that level. But I do think we can push to that level. And then if by any means this earnings on Tuesday goes in crazy, which it definitely could, we could be at 1450 real soon. We could be up at $16 again. I'm bullish on SoFi. I think this is a great company, great CEO. I think it's a company which is super undervalued right now. I know they're not yet profitable, but I think it's a super undervalued company overall. This is one where I honestly wouldn't mind getting a $17 call for July, August. I wouldn't mind getting a $16 call for June, July. I still think this is one of those companies, again, I'm not directly comparing it to Palantir, but last year, when we were trading Palantir, I think May, June time, it might have even been April, we were trading Palantir, it was $18. That's when we were buying Palantir calls at $18. Palantir right now is $112. So me saying SoFi looks great at $12 is for a reason. I said a few weeks ago, load up under $10. Look now, we're at $13. It's up 25% since then. So I do think SoFi can do amazing things, just like Palantir did. It might not go as big so far. Palantir went from $18 to 125 in about 6 months. SoFi's probably not going to do that. Not yet. But I definitely say SoFi calls are on my radar. SoFi is a great company. SoFi is one that I see long-term doing amazing things. Crazy growth. If SoFi went to, where was it last August? $6.52? August. There we go. Yep, $6.52. If SoFi went to go here again, I would buy another 1,000 shares. I'm not even joking. This is a stock which could be a money maker. So just watch SoFi. If you're swing SoFi. But remember that earnings is Tuesday, so you probably want to, you probably want to swing SoFi after earnings, not before earnings. But if you want to take that high risk play, guess what? You can definitely do it. You can definitely go for it. If you can risk a few, couple $100, go for it. But like I said, I think SoFi can go up to 1360 with a good earnings, 1450 with a good earnings. Yeah, I think SoFi's got some great return potential, and you're just playing off momentum, right? You're playing off momentum. Last few days have been really strong for SoFi. Last week was really strong. So just watch SoFi for the continued continuation to the upside. Now, let me see. Before I talked about Palantir, I wanted to talk about PayPal. That was it. They have earnings Tuesday. You're starting to see strength. You're starting to see, again, a base formed out, wicked off the level of support, potential to the upside. Like SoFi. We're starting to see it, catch fire at the right time, right before earnings. But just like SoFi, it is having earnings Tuesday before market open. So how did last earnings go? I remember that it went bad. Gap down at earnings, right? We went from 85, 87, all the way down to 77. So we were on our way to the $100 price point, the $100 price target, and we sold off. Now we're at 63, 65, sorry. I still think it's undervalued, but I still think, hey, long term is a great opportunity. I don't think this earnings will go as bad as last earnings, as in like the price action post earnings. But the problem is you never know with this market. So just beware of PayPal. But again, I think I'm leaning towards calls on PayPal. Will I swing it over earnings? Maybe. This might be the one I swing over earnings, PayPal. It might be. I don't think it goes lower from here. I do think it goes higher. We shall see though. You never know, but I do think this is the one. So please take note of PayPal. I do think this is the one that I will, if I was to swing one over earnings, I think it would be PayPal calls. That is what I'm saying right now. As you guys know already, we're in a PayPal play, but we shall see. We shall see if I add more. Any questions? All right, Celsius. You guys see the consolidation, right? Do you guys see the consolidation? Celsius, once again, it's sleeping, it's waiting. Celsius got potential. Celsius is showing me that, hey, go back to 4 hour. All this price action is showing me we're going to see a big move soon. We got to be patient with it. Earnings is, middle of May. But once again, patience is going to pay. How many times have patience paid in the last couple of weeks? Countless times. Patience paid off with IWM. Patience paid off with AMD. Patience has paid off so many times for us. And again, patience is going to pay. So just be patient. Just wait. Don't jump the gun. But I do think Celsius calls could be a play once again. Once we get a little bit more strength with Celsius. But I am watching it for calls. Weekly chart looks fine. Daily chart, it looks fine. Wicked off my support, resistance, whatever you want to call it, many times. And yeah, I do think we got some potential here. But just wait. Just wait. What was my last stock to watch? Did AMD, Google, Micron, Apple, Meta, SoFi. Oh, FSLR. So First Solar, okay? This is look, if you know anything about me and my trading style, this is my ideal trading. We bottomed out, we based out after a long drop off, right? Moving averages crossing to the downside, pushed up, came back, pushed up, came back a little bit to test the moving average. But we've seen signs of strength. We've seen it hold bullish. We've seen positive signs for a continuation to the upside. First Solar have earnings Tuesday. Here, after hours, Tuesday after close. FSLR. Do I dare swing calls over earnings? Probably not. I mean, potentially, but probably not. Do I day trade calls tomorrow? Much more likely. Right now, if you look at the weekly chart for this, look at that. That candle is like the indication that I need. Everything below the moving averages, everything below, just one closing above, and it's getting ready. Now, if we were to get in now, we would be jumping the gun. We would be. But again, if you look at the lower time frames, the daily, the 4 hour, you see what I'm seeing now. We're holding above the moving averages. 1 hour, now you see what I'm seeing. We came down, come back up, came down, come back up. It's like we're testing and retesting. Again, daily chart is looking nice. It's finally getting some good momentum. I'm looking at the continuation to the upside. I think if you want to go high risk, high reward, then up here, 155 is that price target. And again, that could be what you take during earnings. 155, But me, seeing as it is, probably for me, it's probably a day trade tomorrow. It's got that day trade potential. But I do like this, I do like this. I think honestly, we gotta try and play this. We gotta try and play this. I think tomorrow it's got potential, it's got opportunities, and yeah, you'll see. If we break that 155, we consolidated around here around 165 to 166. Look for that same level again, 165 to 166. If we break above 155 right now. But again, this is a nice setup right here. It's a great setup. So FSLR, First Solar, keep that, on your radar. Last but not least, before I get into breaking down you guys' stocks, we're going with NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA. What's the first thing you notice? Broke above the moving average. Closed above my level of resistance. That's previous support. So, my price targets for NVIDIA a few days ago was 110, 112, and 115. We're now at 111, so we've broken past the 110. 112 would be next. 112 is down here. We're almost at 112. And then 115, around here. The tops of this candle. So, with NVIDIA, one thing you want to know is there's a couple strong levels of support. 106.79 is one of them. 110 is another strong level of support, And again, when I wrote that tweet a couple weeks ago, it was Sunday, I said $85 for NVIDIA is a steal, so make sure you grab your shares. We've already jumped $25 since. NVIDIA's got potential and room to run, but it's going to need the NASDAQ to run as well. It's going to need the semiconductors to move as well. It's going to need the AMDs, the Microns. It's going to need the Taiwan semiconductors, all those kind of stocks to move as well. We shall see where it goes, but I'm liking the look of it as it starts to set up. Okay. Again, if you're ever in doubt, scroll left. Oh, NVIDIA was at 154. Oh, NVIDIA was at 138. I guess 111 is not too late to the party. That's how you need to think of it. Okay, time to get into you guys' stocks to watch. Who's first? I'm going to start with the guy in the trading discussions, the FYD, and then I'm going to go to the lounge chat. Okay. Chipotle. So like I said before at the beginning of this lesson, Chipotle looking nice. Okay. Chipotle looking nice. I think they got earnings coming up as well. They already had it? Never mind, they've already had it. But either way, Chipotle looking nice. Look at that cross. That's a nice cross. I know they're looking to expand as well in Mexico. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes, how that's received. But Chipotle's got potential. Chipotle has got that potential. It's got 9 and 21 moving average crossing to the upside. Bullish sign. The weekly chart shows you, hey, we close above the 9. We're starting to push for that 21. We're starting to push, trying to get higher. Look at the daily again. This is nice. These kind of patterns are nice. The doji in between the moving averages, this is kind of like what I want to see. Again, you want to know where Chipotle can go? Look at how we can get to $65. Look at where we were. We were just there, 65 a few months ago. Chipotle, to be honest, I would take not only shares, but leaps on it. I would take leaps on it. I think Chipotle's got nice potential. Really. And again, that expansion in Mexico is going to be interesting to see how Chipotle, does that. But it's a great business model. It's a great company, great stock. It's not going anywhere right now, So yeah, Chipotle is a one to watch. Let me see everyone else in the lounge chats discussions. All right, we're gonna start. I'm gonna take because I know a couple of you guys did a few stocks. I'm gonna do a couple here, a couple there. NDX, SPX. So we'll start with S. Well, I'll select SPX. We've done SoFi. We've done Lily. So SPX is pretty easy, right? Again, similar to a lot of stocks. Kind of find this like a little bit of a base here. It's starting to push. What I would say with SPX is we can have some decent movement, but this is a key level, right? We might get a 100-point move, but this is a key level right here. You know, the white line, the 200 moving average. This is a key level. It's trending towards the bullish side right now. It is trending towards the bullish side. But let's see what these big companies do, because those big companies reporting earnings is going to drive the market. You know, if they do bad, you got Amazon, Apple, Meta doing bad. Expect this is going to pull back. If they do good, Microsoft, all them, it's going to push. So, like I said, $100 price point, sorry, $100 move is what I think could occur. Yeah, that's pretty much it for SPX. That's pretty much it. The SPX trend is now on the bullish side. I will say that the wheelie chart bullish engulfing candle. It's nice. He said, I think someone said hymns and hers. So for me, right, and I'll put up the wheelie chart as well. We below the moving averages. It's consolidating below. Daily chart, consolidating below, kind of getting rejected. Yes, it could push up, but I think we're early. I think we're too early. I think you want to wait a little bit before you start to get into calls for this one. If anything, you just want to let the consolidation play out. You don't want to get chopped up, in the chop. Your wicks just hanging out there. No, you don't want that. So hymns, I'd say just be patient a little bit more before you make any move towards calls. AMD, SoFi, Hood, AVGO, Palantir. Hood, I can do Hood, AVGO, and Palantir. Hood, Robinhood. Oops. They got earnings as well, haven't they? Haven't they got earnings this week or what? There we go. Woo! Wednesday after close. Robinhood. They stay robbing the hood. So beautiful pattern to start off with. Just first of all, beautiful pattern. Would I like to see something like this price action from a few months ago? Yes. Do I think we can see it again soon? Yes. But at the same time, we're at a previous level of resistance or a previous reversal level. So just be aware of that. With earnings coming up, yeah, who knows what to expect? I mean, it's pretty bullish right now. It's been running, last week it ran, it's been running the last few days. So yeah, I would say if it pulls back, then sure, I would target that, I'd say to start at 51.98 level, 51.98. I'd say that's what I would start out with, looking at $52. The run up is gonna obviously before earnings, it looks like it could potentially run up. It's trending towards the bullish side right now, so just be aware of that. And yeah, it's looking good. AVGO, Broadcom. Okay. Yeah, this one is set up nicely for calls. We are a little bit late, but hey, if it pulls back and starts uptrending again, yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking nice. Do be aware that at this previous level, this price point before, we had a lot of consolidation. So you just want to be aware of that before you get into it. It's always just good to be aware of what's happening around you. So yeah, again, you scroll left, you see the price action. Yeah, you see the price action at that level previously. Beware, right? They could keep keeping it rejected at the previous level where it got rejected, and it could just continue to hang above this level of resistance. So yeah, beware of AVGO. It's looking strong though. It's been looking strong. It's nice to see AVGO, back doing what I'm used to seeing it do. Palantir. So our favorite friend Palantir. Z. So Very interesting pattern here. Consolidated, broke out, right? Pretty simple. I'll be honest. If SPY can run, the markets can run, Palantir can get up to 120, 125 pretty easily. Last time I identified it was, I think, Monday or Tuesday, right here around the moving average. I said, look at this stocks, guys. Look at this stock. Look like it's setting up to move higher. It was around $91, ended up at 112. That's how Palantir does. Palantir is a beast. When it chooses to run, it will really go crazy. So, just beware of Palantir. It's got that momentum. It's got that strength when it does decide to run. So again, 120, 125 would be my price points for Palantir, the targets. But I do want to see a bit of a pullback first. Come back, touch the moving average, come back, get closer to the moving average before we see more upside. Let me see what the chat is saying. Cigna bearish, ZS bullish. Cigna. It's not CVR, right? Cigna. Is this it? Let me know if this is it. I don't like the look at this. No. Let me know. But on the other hand, Caesars Entertainment, CZR. Look at that setup right there. We just crossing. So hey, everyone, watch that one. CZR, Caesars Entertainment on the Nasdaq. CL. Oh, CI. He says CI. Oh, that's the Signal Group. Okay. Let's see. Aha. This is much better. So steadily uptrending, stair stepping, pulling back to go higher every time. We had a bit of a blip a couple weeks ago. We held the moving averages. We came back up and started pushing again. Wheelie chart. Beautiful. Look at the wicks on the moving average. It's paying close attention to the moving average. This is nice. This is real nice. This is a good find right here. I wonder how expensive the contracts are. But yeah, it's a good find. If you scroll left as well, you'll see that it's close to the high. So even though it's a good find, would I be taking it? Probably not. Probably not. Because again, it's a little overbought compared to where it was previously, So yeah, but it's a good find, I would say that. ZS. Zscaler? Let's see. Nice stock chart, but it's a too far from moving averages for me. It's up at the highest, up at previous resistance. I don't trust it at this price point, but at the same time, right? I don't trust it at this price point, right? Same time, it could just boom through it. It could rocket through it and fly. So hey, do keep it on your radar. Do keep it on your watch list. But yeah, these are some good suggestions here. Keep them coming. Yeah, ZS definitely could be something to watch. So thank you for that. Okay. XYZ, Nvidia, and Amazon. Nvidia I've already done, so I can do XYZ and Amazon. Keep those tickers coming. Let me know what stock you wanted to watch. Let me know if you're bullish, bearish, XYZ got a great setup. This reminds me of Micron. So what happened with XYZ? This is the daily we're looking at, right? We couldn't break above moving averages. We came back down. We came back to retest it and pushed above. Now we held the moving averages and we started to uptrend again. XYZ, $64 call for end of May. That's what I look at. That price point up here is my price target. And I do think in a month, it gives us enough time to get there. That would be sick. That would be the one. So XYZ, $64 call next month. It's pretty simple. Weekly chart, you got bullish engulfing candle, You got a strong bullish engulfing candle. The wick and the body are both in the inside week. Yeah, this could be ready to explode. XYZ. You do have to see what the rest of the market does though, because depending on that is what XYZ will do. And what was the other one? Amazon. Amazon's always a nice one to break down. Thank you for suggesting Amazon. So here's Amazon. Right, you see I got the fibs on. But Amazon just broke above the moving averages. It's also above the 0.618 fib. It might come back to touch it and then boom higher. That might be what's going to go on with Amazon. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah, it's looking nice. Amazon is looking ready to continue moving higher. And like I said before, Amazon, you know, they've got earnings Thursday after hours. So run up to earnings could be nice and strong. After earnings it could be good, it could be bad, who knows. But I will say, Amazon right now, this price point, long term shares, I say it's a go. I wrote in the chat last week that I need to scoop up more Amazon shares. I stick by that. I do think it's got plenty of upside potential over the long run. I do think, if you're not really sure what to buy, you're not really sure what stocks you want to get into, Amazon's your safe bets. What you use every day. One is what you use every day. Amazon's, your Nikes, your Metas, and two is just companies you might have an Android, but you can still buy Apple stock. You might own a Rivian, but you can still buy Tesla stock. Those kind of things. So yeah, definitely do look at Amazon. Definitely try and look at Amazon. Could be time to move. And those shares at 160, 165. Oh, those are a steal. Those are a steal. CLSK, okay. Clean Spark. Depends on crypto. It's under $10, right? Yeah, a lot of consolidation, a lot of choppy movement. It doesn't move as nice as other crypto stocks, so I would probably stay away from it for now. But it's not a bad option. The weekly chart, yes, the weekly chart showing some signs of strength. So yeah. Any other suggestions? BUG. Interesting. Similar to a lot of setups. A lot of setups similar. The question might just be which ones are going to be breaking out first. Who knows? Because this looks like a lot of setups. Above moving averages now, holding strong on the daily, weekly, strong inside the bar. Yeah, this could be a great week for a lot of these stocks. You know. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the market looks good. You got the weekly chart. You got a nice outside bar here. Could be signaling a breakout. Um, got the daily chart steadily climbing up now. 4 hour chart, same thing. After we had the doji after gap up, yeah, looking positive. Okay, you said you dropped it in the trade discussion. Let me find it. Yeah, Apple I did. Microsoft I can do. EPI, WDC, BBAI. EPI. Yeah, these are not my kind of stocks. It's too crazy. The chart is too crazy. Let me try BBAI. Yes, this is my kind of stock. 21%. Weekly chart is kind of getting wicked off to our weight a little bit. But hey, it can go back up to $10, which is a 300% return. So yeah, big bear. Just keep it on your radar. And the other one, WDC. Yeah, starting to build up the weekly chart. Daily chart looks nice. This is a good one. I'll take this one. It's a good one. Yeah. So Microsoft. Let me check Microsoft. And then one more, guys. One more. One more stock to watch. Give us a stock to watch. Microsoft, similar to the other setups. Only thing with Microsoft is earnings is this week, Wednesday. Never mind. Wednesday. So just beware of that. Probably run up to earnings, and then after earnings, who knows what it could do? You know. Ooh, it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be an entertaining week. It's going to be an exciting week. So at the same time, as it is busy and confusing, whatever, I'm ready for it. You know. There's also a lot of data coming out this week. I know you've got PCE. I know you've got NFP. I know you've got jobs, unemployment. It's a busy week. It's an exciting week. It's a week where we have a lot of chances to make some good money. If you want to make some money this week in the market, the money is there to be made. And then lastly, I would say if you're not, if you're not really confident in your options plays and stuff like that yet, take your time. The market is not going nowhere. The market is going to be here in 5 days, in 6 days, in 20 days, in 2 years, in 5 years. The market's still going to be here. Take your time. Don't rush. All these setups we're seeing, all this kind of stuff we're seeing, all the work we're putting in. Listen, it's going to pay, but you need to be smart with it. Don't go into the options thinking you're just going to dump your whole portfolio, lose a lot of money, and then make a lot of money and you end up losing a lot of money. Be smart with it. So yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will also be uploading my written watch list in the Discord as well later in the weekly watch list session. If you enjoyed this, just drop it in trading discussions. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. And lastly, if you ain't checked out the stock option starter pack, go check that one out. It's 10 videos you'll have access to for life. And yeah, you guys know the vibes. Thank you so much. It's been a nice, strong hour, and I'm looking forward to running it up with you guys this week. Peace.